Hello everyone. Okay, so hopefully with Mercury going into retrograde, our appliances and our electronics all work today. Obviously my brain's a little slow, but that's okay. Give everybody a moment to get on. Good morning, good morning. All right, so as we wait, why don't we just take a couple of nice deep cleansing breaths. Kind of feels good to let them out with a sigh. And you can do that a couple of times if it feels good. Good. All right. Well, I hope everyone is doing well. Gotta just keep doing, right? These energies have been so much fun. And all the retrogrades, and I know we keep talking about all of this, but it really is such a big thing right now. And the Schumann's actually has hit all-time new highs in the last week. So if you're feeling it, you're feeling it. And I always talk about people who don't know what they don't know. And so if you're feeling off, or I was awake at 4 o'clock yesterday morning and just went, okay, I'm up. Instead of getting aggravated about it, or getting mad about it, or trying to go back to sleep, I was just up. And I think I tossed and turned a little bit last night as well. And yes, we had some big spikes going on. So, all we can do is just keep breathing, keep using our tools. And one of the things, what I wanted to talk about today too, was about how we have this is an amazing time, as much as it is a time of turmoil, but it's also an amazing time that we can really look at our contracts. We can look at our beliefs. We can look at our hurts and be like, okay, I see you. You're still there. What needs to happen to heal? Let that go. What have you? And the contracts, again, because we don't, or the agreements, call them contracts, call them agreements, call them whatever you want. But those are the things that we have been taught, or a story we've told ourselves that has now become embedded in our contracts, our agreements, that we just assume is true, right? So for me, one of my big ones that that came up for me over the weekend, and I'll finish my story in a minute, I know, but good morning. That one of the things is that I started going down this rabbit hole, right? I started having a thought that led into another thought that led into another thought, and I started really like spiraling, and I'm like, okay, wait, come back. Okay, so what is the story that I'm telling? Where is this stemming from? What's the agreement, right? And so, and I can't even remember, honestly, what the thoughts were now, what started that way. Yeah, so I'm not going to try and call it forward, because obviously there was some healing that was done with this. But the, excuse me, the underlying story, so where it all really stemmed from was I had trouble in school. As many of you know, my brain is very wired differently. So traditional school was very difficult. And and some ancestral healing that's come with this too was very much of you put your head down, you work hard, and that's how you succeed. So no matter how much I studied for spelling or reading or comprehension and those kinds of things, with the dyslexia and everything else, and now knowing that there's probably some ADHD and maybe some autism there as well, somewhere on the spectrum, I'm sure. No matter how hard I tried, I wasn't going to get great grades. And then there was a unworthiness. I'm not worthy of, because XYZ. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not whatever. So, and I'm still I still have that going on a little bit of not being worthy. So looking at that contract or that agreement that for whatever reason, I'm not worthy of prosperity, essentially is what it comes down to. It doesn't matter how hard I work, because I'm not worthy of it. And then that causes this whole dysfunction, disruption, whatever word you want to put there. So let's take a couple of breaths and let's look at maybe a agreement. I'm not good enough. I'm not whatever. I'm just a girl, right? That's been a big one that's come up in years past. I can't do because I'm a woman and I'm not supposed to go hiking by myself. So whatever those stories are, and I know we look back at them going, I didn't even realize that was still a thing. And it came from when we were probably little, or school, or things that we've put way behind us, but we still have those agreements. Okay, so let's take a moment, let's do a little bit of breathing and see if there's something that comes up, if there's something that I said that maybe is a little ooh, wait, there's something with that. Okay. Because who am I not to be worthy of? Who are you not to be worthy of? Because I think you're pretty amazing and you deserve all that you need and all that you want. All right. And so this is where the work comes in. What's a story you've been telling yourself? Whether it's about yourself, it's about somebody else, it's about a neighbor, a family member, whatever it is, whomever it is, okay? And then kind of look at what this underlying story is. That's where the work comes in, right? So, close your eyes for a moment. Kind of think about the mind chatter over the last week, or even today, or yesterday. And what's been a story that you've been telling yourself? And where did that story start? What's the agreement behind it? And maybe it's more about the agreement. If you don't want to go looking under the rocks of where it started, that's okay. But what's the agreement? If I don't do A, then I don't get B. Or whatever the story is. Okay. So just giving you a couple more breaths here. And if nothing's coming up right now, I know I kind of put you on the spot, right? So if something is not coming up right now, that's okay. And it can be something very small. It can be, see, now my brain's gonna go blank. But it can be something very, very small that in your everyday, what were we talking about yesterday? We were talking about yesterday about, I have to eat everything on my plate because there's starving children somewhere. Old story, right? You don't have to eat everything on your plate. Listen to your body. If your body says I'm full, then you're full. Put it in a container, put it in the fridge, and eat it later. We had another really good one yesterday, but it's not coming to mind. So, but it can be something as simple as that, because we stopped listening to our bodies because we were told to eat everything on our plate. Okay, so if you don't have something right now, that's okay. Come back later. These will be up for 30 days on Facebook, or you can jump over to YouTube, and all of our videos are there. And we can go from there. But for right now, if you have something, and if it's something as simple as, I don't want to eat everything on my plate, we're going to take that contract, that agreement, and for me, I always think of them like on a scroll. I don't know why I like the idea of unscrolling it, unrolling it, and then bringing it back. But so if you have that agreement on your scroll, throw the scroll out, take that, or think about washing it out, bleaching it, putting it under the fire, whatever it may be, so that it is no longer there. And what's the new agreement? And that can be rewritten again. So if you're just here right now going, I'm going to listen to my body and I will stop eating when I'm full. New agreement. And if you have something later that you're like, oh, I should put that on that agreement, that's okay. You can come back to it. Or I want to rewrite it, or that doesn't feel quite right. Whatever it is. Okay? So take that moment, unroll the scroll, get rid of that old contract, that old agreement. And maybe it comes from this lifetime or it comes from another lifetime. That's okay. Or maybe it's ancestral. Maybe it's something as simple as life is hard. Old story, right? I want to get rid of that old agreement. Life doesn't have to be hard. Life is fun. Life is joyful. And if you could add, I am working on XYZ. If that feels better, that's okay too. All right, so once you got your new agreement, and you've gotten it on your scroll, or however your agreements, your contracts look, that's okay too. Like I said, that's just how I like to think of them. Okay, put that back where you found it. And we want to get rid of the energy. Oh, come on, light. We want to get rid of that energy that's attached to that old agreement. Okay. Oops. Doing this the wrong way. I guess we needed to put that on fire first. All right. So go ahead and blow that old energy into the stick. And just breathe it in, find where you're holding it, and then blow it into the stick. Good, and again. One more time. I guess I was just really excited to get rid of that old energy, right? So now we can burn it. Okay. So all of that old energy that we had with that old story, that old agreement, is being transmuted, transformed, and released. And you can take the energy. Oh, that's so cool. I'm sorry if you can, I don't know if you can see this. So there was, it almost from this angle looks like there's two or several separate little flames on here, which means like the old stuff is burning off. And we've got a new flame here as we put in the energy into those new contracts, those new stories. Okay. And you can take the fire, the energy from the fire, because now this energy's been transmuted, and bring it in and repeat the new contract. I am worthy. I listen to my body, whatever it may be. And all right. Okay. And again, if you're just joining us or you didn't have something that came up right away, that's okay. Come back. But I know the second part of what I had put in the title today, or the description, was about our words and our thoughts. So when we're stuck on those old agreements, or we're stuck in an old story and we're going down and we're saying things like, I'm not worthy of whatever, they call spelling because our words are spells. So we want to erase those kind of words, those essentially mantras that we're telling ourselves, because we're putting that out into the world. And whether we're saying them verbally or we're thinking them, because our thoughts are energy as well, and that puts that energy out into the world. So it's just being very mindful of what we're saying, what we're thinking, what energies we're putting out into the world. Okay, so with that all being said, if you had a place in your body where you were really feeling that, I know for me it was way in the solar plex. If you want to put your hands there, so that keeps your attention here. And I want you just to connect with that. And if it's a big toe, it's a big toe. It doesn't necessarily have to be a chakra. It can be a story that we have up here in our heads, right? It can be in our throats, the heart. It could be in our knees. Okay. If you have knee pain, that's usually something, an old story, contract, what have you, energy that is keeping you stuck. Same with the feet. Okay. And wherever you got your hands or your attention, if you're someplace that you can't do this, that's okay. Just bring your attention to it. And again, let's bring back the energy that we've given away to this. So breathing in, calling back all of your energy, all the times you've told that story, you've thought about that story. And releasing and letting go of any remnants, any residue, I call it, of that story, that teaching, the energy of it. Just breathe it way out. And breathe in, calling back your energy. And, breathing out. And as you call back your energy, putting it towards that new agreement, that new contract, bringing it back in and really filling up that new contract, that new thought, the new I am. Because we want that to grow. We don't want this old story gobbledygook to grow. We want the new I am worthy. I listen to my body. Keep calling back your energy. Releasing and letting go of any of that old energy. Yeah. that one, if I'm not skinny, then I'm not pretty. Yeah, get rid of that old story. That's one that, I don't even know where that story started from. I don't know why that became a thing. So let that go. And I am gorgeous. I am worthy of prosperity, attention, love, all of those things. Good. And now if you feel that energy is dissipating from the old and you've got that space filled up with the new, I want you to repeat that new contract, that new mantra a couple of times. And imagine that energy that you just brought in, lighting it up, energizing it. However it shows up for you is perfectly fine. And sending that out into your thoughts, which goes out into our auras, out into the universe. And see and pay attention to where that comes up in your day. And keep reminding yourself, I am. And if you catch yourself going down a rabbit hole, that's perfectly fine. Right? This is something that may have been going on for quite a while. And so when that train essentially has got going, it's hard for it to slow down. So if you notice these things, it's okay. We were talking earlier about spiritual bullying, right? And whether we do it to somebody else, we definitely do it a lot to ourselves. Bullying ourselves. If I was better at the spiritual work, I wouldn't have this. Okay? We're humans. We may be spiritual beings, but we're still in these human bodies, in these human minds. And energy is energy. It's just about when you find that going, okay, bring myself back. And if you need to, connect to your heart. Connect to that spot in your body that you're feeling it right now. And reminding yourself of the new contract, the new agreement. And maybe it needs some tweaking in that moment. That's okay. But bringing it back. Like I said, I started going down a rabbit hole. Whatever the rabbit hole was, whatever that story was. And again, I'm not going to bring it up because I don't remember. And I'm not going to attach back to it. But I found myself doing it. And I went, okay, wait, come back. I don't need that story. I was getting ready, I think it must have been yesterday morning. And we had that big event yesterday. So it was like, oh, wait. That's not where I want my energy going into that. Okay, I see what you're doing, Mercury in retrograde. I see what you're doing, humans. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. All right, I got this. Oh, I see where I'm still hurting. So if you're repeating that mantra, that new agreement, and it doesn't feel right, if you're feeling those twinges, maybe the brain's getting in the way and saying, nope, you're still not worthy of it. And believe me, I do that to my brain a lot. Nope, come back. So being very mindful of the words, the thoughts. If you go down those rabbit holes, it's okay. Just acknowledge it and come back. Just, what is it that I need in this moment? Oh, my little inner child screaming because whatever. Oh, I remember that yesterday. Okay, it's all good. All right. So let's just take a moment, close our eyes, feel the feelings of the new contract. If your new contract is, I am joyful, feel the joy in this moment. Allow yourself to shake off all those old chains, all that heaviness. And allow yourself this moment to feel those higher energies, those higher emotions, whether it's joy, maybe it's gratitude for someone who helped you get through a time that was hard or difficult. And just allowing yourself to be in that space. And remember to keep breathing. If the left brain is jumping in and repeating old stories, just tell it to go to sleep. It's okay. If you have a lot of jibber jabber in there and you're having trouble concentrating, bring your attention down to your feet. Take the energy out of the brain. Connect to the earth. Imagine those roots going down into the ground. Allowing yourself to feel the peace and the love. Good. Remember your tools. Okay, whether it's breath work, it's meditation. Last week we did the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 things I see, 4 things I hear, 3 things I feel or touch, 2 things I can smell, and 1 thing I can taste. Maybe it's music, maybe it's movement, maybe it's a drum, maybe it's a rattle. But try those first before you start scrolling on Facebook or any of the other social media. Before you turn on a movie on Netflix and zone out. I know those are easy ways, and I'm not saying they don't have their place, because sometimes we get a little overwhelmed and we just need, right, to check out for a moment. But come back when you're in a space that you can deal with it a little bit more. Good. So connecting with the breath again, not doing anything, just observing the rise and fall of the chest and the stomach. Maybe the air coming in and out of the nostrils. And throughout your day, just recognizing the old things that come up. And we don't have to live by those old stories anymore. All right, lovelies, thank you for spending some time with us.